Welcome to DC2B Revolution, helping chiropractic students think big in order to live large. I'm your host, Noah Volz, and today I'm here with Dr. Troy Dukowitz. He and his wife run a busy family practice in Swansea, Illinois. He owns OYA Coaching, which was developed to help doctors create a greater impact in their communities. Excited to hear more about that. And he's also the founder of EPOC, Epicenter of Chiropractic, which was created to help unify chiropractors. Dr. Troy, I know you have so much to offer. Thanks for being here.
No, thanks for having me. We finally connected.
Yeah, it took a little while, but really great to have you on the show. So, as a student, I've got about a year left before I graduate from Life West here. And I'm wondering, in terms of the coaching that you do, what is the kind of biggest weakness in students' mindset when they come out of school that you come into contact with? And how do you work with that student to overcome that obstacle?
Wow, it goes different ways. You have, put it this way, I'm going to take you back. I'm going to take you into a time. We're going to go back in time over here. Okay. And that's when I graduated. And when I graduated, 1996 from Logan, I was, and I'm going to say it this way without insulting anyone, I was smart enough to know that I didn't know anything, which was huge. Because there's also a class of people over here who think they know everything. And it's great to have the energy and passion to say, I'm going to go out and save the world. But you got to remember, the world is not what's happening in school. It's just not. You don't learn the world in a book, in a class at 3 o'clock on a Tuesday. You learn the world by being in the world. And so, and a nice advantage I had is I worked for a chiropractor before I went to chiropractic school. So then when I'm going through chiropractic school, I had that experience, kind of in a backpack that I was able to wear as I'm going through school, saying, wow, this is really different than what I experienced as a CA going, in college. So it was the ability for me to leave school and say, okay, even though I might know some stuff, I have to be smart enough to know that I don't know anything. And go out and be this blank canvas to go and learn about a business, because you're going to go run a business if you're going to open up your own office. If you're going to be an associate somewhere, it's realizing that if I go work for somebody, they've been doing this. They might have a clue as to what it is they're doing. So for me to walk in and say, well, that's not how we did it in school, isn't really going to fly. I have to be humble enough to say whoever I'm going to go work with to be somebody I admire. I see that their values are in alignment with my values. We have the same philosophy and understanding of chiropractic. And so now I can go work with that person. And so I think number one, and I hope I'm hitting the point here, the number one thing is when you look at mindset, because mindset is missing in chiropractic right now. Everybody thinks it's a magical procedure to go light up the world. And mindset is missing in chiropractic. But you have to have the mindset, I believe, of being humble enough to know that you don't know anything right now. Period. End of story. And use that as a power to go out and save the world. Use it as a power. Use it as a plus in your life, not as something that's a detriment. I hope that makes sense.
That makes complete sense to me. And I believe that humility is the stepping stone towards curiosity. And it's that curiosity that you need to be engaged in your community and really, to help facilitate that passion. I wonder what you might say in terms of confidence, because sometimes when I hear humility, I think that maybe if you're too humble, you can kind of lack confidence in your skills and the abilities that you do have. Can you speak to that briefly?
When I think of humbleness, I often think of my mom. I'm 47 years old. She still says, "Don't get too big for your britches." So I'm a very confident person. I'm a very certain person in what I do, but it's like, I remember where I came from. I remember going through school. I remember graduating and not even knowing what a green book was. Graduating that way and having no clue. Like, I remember those things, not as a matter of something that tears my confidence away, but as a matter of something that's the foundation of who I am. And I'm thankful for who I am. I'm blessed to be who I am. I'm confident in who I am, but I always remember where I came from. So as I go through school, if I'm going to be humble, I remember where I'm coming from. I'm coming from school, which is a lot of books. And I come out with, there's a lot of students today who have this great passion for chiropractic, which I love. And they just want to go out and they do. They want, I would say it's the blazing pisiforms. Like they just come out and these things are on fire and they are ready to go out and save the world, which is fantastic. Yes, bring that passion to the marketplace because we need more of it. So this doesn't take away from that. This is just humbling yourself to understanding that there is a whole other school you have to go through, and it's called real life. That's my point there. Definitely, because chiropractic already has a self-esteem problem. Chiropractors already have self-esteem problems because you do sit in this thing called a report of findings, and patients actually do say no. It does actually happen. You do have someone going through care, and they actually quit. Like, that's real stuff that happens. So my self-confidence has to be high to be able to handle that. Because if it's not, day after day after day after day after day, I lose my confidence and I lose my certainty. What's wrong with me? Why don't these people want to stay around? So my passion is important, and so is my confidence.
And have you ever been in that position? Have you been in the position where like time after time you're doing the report of findings, you're doing, you're putting people under care and they're quitting care and your confidence kind of keeps going down. Have you been in that position and been able to kind of pull yourself out of that? And if so, what did you do?
So 21 years in chiropractic. Yes, I've been there before. And if anybody tries to say they haven't been there, then most likely they haven't been in practice long enough. If they would say that, I would turn around and walk away from that conversation. The minute you say that, I flash back to early on when I opened, and I had a 1 week period of time where nobody would start care, and I was still showering every day. I was still like, I couldn't figure out what it is. Like, what's going on? I don't smell. What is going on? And it was one phrase that I was saying in my report of findings that said, I want you to understand, I don't do anything. Now I was killing it because I was at 85, 90% conversions on care plans for a year. I'm like, I'm killing it. I'm going to throw in this other phrase because it sounds really good when I say, I don't do anything. Your body does the healing. That was my whole point. I was trying to take them to this great understanding that the power that made the body healed the body. So I said, I don't do anything. Your body does the healing. And I was like, I don't remember the exact number, but I was probably like a big, 0 of 8 that week. Like nobody would start care. And so at the end of the week, because I'm a believer in reflecting and projecting. Reflect on where you've been, learn from it, and then project where you want to go in the next week. So at the end of every week, I reflect on my last week. What did I learn there? What did I do well? What could I improve upon? And then I go this way and say, now where do I want to go next week? Reflect, project, reflect, project. So I get to the end of the week and I'm like, what the hell is going on here? What have I done? And I'm going through, man, nobody's signing up. Day one seems like they're in. What am I doing? And I remembered, dude, you're telling them you don't do anything. You're literally telling patients you do nothing. Why would they drop $2,500 on a guy who does nothing? It makes no sense. So I reset, reflect, project, go in the next week, and I'm like 8 for 8. They're signing up. So it's meant you can't get, DeMartini said, never get too down and deflated and never get too high and elated. Like it's a matter of understanding that there's this midline here that we're all going to have bad days. In school, you go through school, you've had bad days. What have you done to get yourself up? Because in the real world, so to speak, it's the same thing. You still have to get out of bed. You still have to move forward. What are the things that you do to get yourself up? Now, I personally do a morning ritual. I do it every single day. I've done it for over 20 years, where I'm getting my mind and my heart and my soul ready to serve on the day. So when your mind, your heart, and your soul are ready to serve on a day, you handle stresses way easier than a person who is reacting to life. Way easier, so that I can dig myself out way quicker than the person who's not prepared. I'm prepared. Challenges come at us every single day. I prepare myself mentally to handle those challenges so they don't stick with me the rest of the week. Because a week turns into a month and now you're struggling in practice.
Yeah, I mean, you talked about that preparation, and of course, as a student, like if you don't do the homework, then how are you going to pass the test? The preparation is so important in order to really accelerate. And I wanted to drill down just briefly on this reflect and project process that you do. Is that a really granular process where you kind of look at each different area of your life and then see, what's working, what's not working? Or could you kind of walk me through that process?
Yeah, I mean, it's every area. I mean, I look at my body and my health. How have I done this past week when it came to my workouts, with my eating? How am I taking care of myself? Did I take care of myself in this last week? What do I need to do to up my game the week moving forward? Here's what I'm going to do. In my morning ritual, in my spirituality, in my meditation, here's the things that I'm working on, or here's what I did. How did they go? This is what I said I was going to do. This is what I actually did. Okay, cool. Do I need to course correct? Yes. In my relationship with my wife and my kids, same exact thing. I reflect. Were we connecting this week? Were we disconnected? Okay, if we were disconnected, we got to get back on track here. Family is the most important thing for me. So we got to get back on track and make sure this is working. Then I look at my business, and I'm going to have you listen here. I said me, I said my spirituality, I said my family, and then I said my business, not my business first. Not the business first. Because if I'm showing up as a powerful man or woman, if I'm showing up in that position, whoever you are watching, if I show up in that position that I've already taken care of myself, I've already taken care of my relationship with God, I've already taken care of my relationship with family, then it's naturally going to happen that I walk into my office in a place of power. I'm ready to go serve. So I look at the last week. What did I do? I have coaching. I'm in practice with my wife. I have speaking. I look at all of these things that I'm working on and say, oh, here's what I did. Here's what I said I was going to do. Here's what I did. Do I need to course correct? Here's where I'm going this week. It's a process. I do it every single Sunday morning. Get up, get my week scheduled and prepared. I'm a scheduler. Everything is in a schedule for me. I follow it like you and I would follow a map to get to you if I were to drive out that way.
Yeah, I love this process. Thank you for kind of walking me through that. I do a similar process on Sundays, to schedule my week as well. And I find that is so vital. I wonder if you've been in this profession for a really long time and you've seen a lot. And I wonder if there's a similar process we can do as a profession to kind of reflect and project. Because I know for me personally, I would like every person in the world to be utilizing chiropractic care. And, how could we use that process to kind of get to that end goal? And what is your goal in terms of chiropractic?
Great question. And what you speak of when you say, how can we get everybody to reflect and project? Unfortunately, because there's so many different agendas in chiropractic, you're basically trying to rally the cattle. You're trying to pull everybody in. And, the one common thread that you and I will hear amongst everybody is that we want to save the world. That's up here. We want to save the world. The problem is that there's a lot of chiropractors who have to be saved. And we're not looking inward and saying, what can I do to show up as a better version of me? And then take that into my practice. My vision is to be able to get into practices. Why do I coach? Because I want to help doctors to actually live in these 4 domains that you and I are talking about today: body, being, balance, and business. I want to help them to be able to live that way and have it all in life. When it comes to chiropractic, I want people in the masses. I just wrote this as a post on Facebook today. Yes, I want the masses to get chiropractic. And yes, I've stood on stages and said, let's go save the world. But the problem with that is we're not even saving the people in our practices. Because the PVA, the profession, still is under 20. People are still utilizing us as back and neck pain. So I say, why aren't we educating the people within our practices to better understand chiropractic, to increase their certainty around chiropractic? Not my certainty, not yours, but we increase patient certainty so we can increase patient retention. And in doing so, we now have people who are educated enough that they can go out and actually tell people what chiropractic is. They could actually share stories and analogies and things that we do. They could actually better understand chiropractic. And now if they get it, I've saved the people within my practice. Save, I use that term loosely. And now though, we go into the community. Now we go into the community because we have an army of people that can go with us and better understand what it is that we do. But what we're doing as a profession is we're saying, let's go out and do these talks. By the way, you should do talks, you should do screenings, but we're going doing talks saying, if we go talk, if we go tell people how to live, we're going to save the world. But the people in your own practice don't understand chiropractic. So how are we going to save the world if they don't even get it? It just doesn't make sense to me. Like I said, I've thrown my arm up in the world. I want to save the world. I think the world is a crazy, messed up place. I think there's subluxated people everywhere. People need to be able to have access to getting chiropractic. Like all those things I've said, you've heard, I've said them before. I totally believe in that. But how do we actually create a foundational understanding of it? Why aren't we starting with the people in our offices? Why aren't we starting with those people and helping them to understand what it is that we do? Man, if we do that, they can help us.
It definitely seems like every really successful business, especially these days, are the ones that are focusing on the people that are already in their practice, you know, the people that are already a part of the community, a part of the tribe, and really offering the most value to those people. And then that kind of trickles out. Like I think Kevin Kelly says, you're 1,000 true fans. Like once you really find those people, then, you know, it's much easier to branch out from there and really kind of spread that message to more people. And that's really what I'm hearing from you. And I think that's super important for
you're absolutely spot on. And like I said, it doesn't take away. I still go out and do talks. We still go out and do screenings. We do things to bring the message to the community. Absolutely. But that doesn't mean we're going to save the world. We have to be able to help people to better understand past 20 visits, past 50 visits, past 100 visits, the importance of chiropractic as being a part of their life. And until they understand that, if we're going to change it in a chiropractic model, we have to change the way we're doing things. Not change chiropractic or water it down, but we have to change the approach. Because everybody, so this comes back to exactly what you said. How do we take that concept of reflect and project? You and I can go ahead and reflect on the past 100+ years of chiropractic, right? And you had BJ, who's this big spokesperson and went leaps and bounds to get the message out there. I mean, did everything he could to get the message out there. And yet what still happened in BJ's day is there were people who broke off and did their own thing. They broke off to do their own thing. So to reflect and project, you now had the BJ followers going this way, but in our society today, we have our BJ followers going this way, and the people who break off this way, we have the hate straights over here. These are the ones that just don't like you and I. Like they want the drugs in the profession. But we have these people over here who are still doing chiropractic. They're still talking subluxation. They're still educating on that, but they might be selling supplements where now all of a sudden the people on the BJ path are like, you shouldn't do that. You're bad. So now we circle the wagons and we start firing inward. Nobody's reflecting and projecting. Everybody's pointing fingers, telling the other guy what to do, how they should be running their business, how they should be running their practice. It's hard to get a group of people to reflect and project when they all have, they all love chiropractic. They love it. They love it to death. But yet, because you're selling supplements, we can't talk. We can't play together. It's going to be hard for us to get anywhere if we can't come to some common ground.
Yeah, and that's really what I'm hopeful about this new generation is that we may be able to kind of, you know, stop firing our guns towards each other and actually, you know, like you said earlier, figure out the agenda items that we have in common instead of focusing on the agenda items that we don't have in common, and get the agenda items that we do have in common to happen. Yeah. That's going to benefit everybody. Instead of focusing on all the ways that we're different, focus on what we have in common, and then actually, you know,
I know a ton of doctors who do, you know, nutrition in their practices and they have massage, but they are like on fire with chiropractic. Like they get it. Their patients who come in understand what chiropractic is. They understand what's up. There's no walking in thinking they're walking into a nutrition clinic. They walk in and they know they're going to see a chiropractor, and this chiropractor has this other tier of services that he offers to them. There are a lot of docs out there like that. And there are even people that watch this and like, oh my God, I can't believe he's saying that. He's so bad for chiropractic. But they're not watering the chiropractic portion down. They're not confusing people about it. They're not. There are people who do. There are people who say nutrition, body fat loss, weight loss, all these things, and chiropractic. There are people who put chiropractic last. And that does do us a disservice because people don't know what they're walking into. In my belief system, that's a disservice. But there are a ton of people who are doing, here's what I do, which is chiropractic. And if you want these other services, we have adjunct services you can use. But if you're coming to see me, you're coming to me for chiropractic.
Well, and do you think the reason behind that is financial? Do you think that some people think that the practice members who are coming in don't value chiropractic and they value the weight loss or the nutrition or the other stuff more, and that's why they put that at the top of the list?
The ones who flip it like that?
Yeah.
Yeah. In my belief, yeah. You go to a seminar and somebody says, hey, I can add an extra 10 grand to your business if you go ahead and sign up for, Project X right here. And if you like, this is going to add money to your bank account. So if you want to do this, this is the way to go. And you go, oh, wow, that's easy. It's supplemental income. Sure, I'll do it. And then all of a sudden they're a part of a multi-level marketing type program and they're bringing in extra money. So their passion starts to become the delivery of this instead of the delivery of this.
Yeah. And so what did you do to really communicate to people the value of chiropractic to create the thriving practice that you have? And what can students learn from that?
When I opened, the only thing that, we didn't even sell those. Yeah, we did. We sold moist heat bags. That's what we sold. You come in, our product line was a basket filled with, when I opened, a basket full of moist heat bags. That's our product. That's what we sell. People come in, they know they're getting chiropractic. Today you come in, you will see we have a standard process in our office, but people don't come in for standard process. We don't advertise on our website. We have standard process. We simply have standard process, and we still have moist heat bags. And so people will still come in and the moist heat bag side. Why? Because one of the things I've taught people for over 20 years now is that your body does all of its repairing and rebuilding when you're resting and relaxing. Repair, rebuild, rest, relax. 4 R's, right? People shoot through life and it's wake up in the morning, slingshot through the day, collapse, wake up tomorrow morning, do it all over again. They're just in this cycle of stress. So my thing, because most people think ice or heat is for pain, my thing is I want to teach you how to relax so you can better accept the adjustment. So you need this moist heat bag. If you don't want mine, I don't give a shit. Go to Walgreens, go to Walmart, go to Target. I don't care, but I have it here if you want it. So that's why we've sold them, to teach people to relax. Resting, repairing, resting, repairing, resting, and repairing. Then they start to understand, holy crap, if I'm in high stress, my body cannot efficiently function. If it's that way long enough, what's going to happen? I do this crazy thing known as subluxate. Wow, we just came back to chiropractic. What am I doing? Talking about chiropractic. That's what I talk about with people. So even when you walk into our office right now, we take care of families, we take care of moms, we take care of kids, and you're going to hear us talking about chiropractic. That's what we talk about. We're not talking about the supplementation. Now, if somebody has something going on and they say, hey, do you happen to know something that would work for X or a good fish oil or whatever, then we can go, hey, yeah. And me, I have to defer to my wife because I don't know anything about standard process. So I have to say, you know what? Great question. So I'm going to take a note and I'm going to give it to the brains of the office, which is my wife, and then she'll come back with the recommendation. Does that sound good? Because she's freaking way smarter than I am. And so I sit down with her and then she says, this person needs this, this, or this, and then we're cool. Then they get set up on standard process. People don't come for standard process. They come for chiropractic.
Yeah. And I know that a lot of students are going to want to know how to communicate chiropractic better and position chiropractic at the forefront of the practice that they open. So how can people get in touch with you? How can people learn more about what you're doing and take advantage of the resources that you've created? So
there's 2 things. I actually just launched a program and it's called Retention Secrets based on patient communication. So you can go to retentionsecrets.com. And basically what I've done is I put together a tip of the week that goes to a doctor's office so that they can actually focus their education in on chiropractic. Sometimes there's lifestyle tips and we use novelty items and things like that because we're really gearing towards what's called neurocommunication and really speaking and honing into the old brain, connecting with people, drawing pictures, images to help them to better understand chiropractic. We want them to understand it. We got to teach it to them like they're in 5th grade, not like they are, they don't want to know the Krebs cycle. Just so you know, they don't want to know it. I know it sounds crazy, right? They don't want to know it. They don't want to know the brachial plexus. They have no idea what that even means. They have a hard enough time with the word subluxation because they think it's a subway station. So what do? We have to come back with some easy ways to explain it to people so that when Mary is sitting at dinner with her friends on Saturday night and they say, wow, you're still going to that chiropractor, why? She can go, well, let me give you an example. My chiropractor just shared this with me, and it has to do with a cell phone. And you know, a cell phone has a tower, and that tower would be your brain. It has to send signals down to your phone. And as long as there is full connection, I get what from my phone? Full power, full connection. When you talk to me, I'm not going to go in and out. But if there's a distortion, if there's an interference in that message, what happens to your phone? Holy shit, it stops working. Oh, can I say that? It's students. Of course I can say that. So all of a sudden it's going to stop working, or it's not going to have as much power, as much juice. My chiropractor keeps that main tower, the brain, connected to my spinal cord and the rest of my body. He gives me full power. That's why I go. Or a banana, or a dime on the back of the hand, or a rubber band around a finger, or a safety pin, you name it. We give them examples that they can understand. We just did a pumpkin tip where we actually had doctors went and bought pumpkins, and they gave their patients pumpkins, and the patients hold the pumpkin and say, okay, you could hold this here for how long? They say, I can hold this here forever. Great. I want you to hold the pumpkin out here now. What happens? And they start getting shaky. Say, exactly. So what happens when your head starts going forward? Are you in more power or less? You're in less. What's that doing to the spinal cord? What's that doing to the nerves? Is that healthy or unhealthy? Is that good or is that bad? Exactly. So what do you think we need to do? We need to keep that spine in alignment, keep the nerves functioning properly so you can be healthier, stronger, focused, and better sleep. Like, it's just these quick, easy tips that help you to better communicate. That's it.
That's great. Yeah, I love it. So go to retentionsecrets.com, check out, what Dr. Troy is doing, sign up for those tips. And so you can
go to Facebook, like me on Facebook.
Yeah. Find him on Facebook.
Email me if you have questions, Dr. Troy at OYAcoaching.com. Email me if you have questions. You're not in it alone. First of all, you're not in it alone. You have to realize that there are resources of people out there. And I would make it a point to be talking to different people. I would make it a point to just be digging in and find people that are in alignment with your philosophy and understanding of chiropractic. Make sure you're clear on your values and what it is that you want and the direction that you want to go, and connect with those people. Go follow them around, get on the phone with them, talk to them. It took us a while to connect. Hopefully I offered some level of value today that it just takes one person that hears it and goes, wow, I never thought of it that way. Or, yeah, I need to be more humble. Or, wow, you mean I can educate people simply and I don't have to be teaching all the stuff that they're telling me in school? Like, it just takes one simple conversation from one person that completely shifts your entire career for the better. So email me, go, join the program, or at least go look at the program, get the first tip. Maybe you wait and sign up after you graduate from school. You're still going to get on my list, so you're still going to get tips on communication anyway. Like, it's a win-win situation for everyone. Keep giving back, keep helping this profession so that we can get people better educated as to what we do.
Yeah. And I think that's really the essence of it, just keep, doing what you do best, and helping more people to see the value and get educated about everything that chiropractic has to offer. So thank you, Dr. Troy, for being on the show. Really appreciate all the value that you brought today, and appreciate you taking the time.
I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, my pleasure. And so this has been a production of DC to Be Revolution. If you like this video, let me know. Please subscribe to the channel. Leave some comments below. Always great to hear from people. And looking forward to seeing you next time. Thanks.
All right, cool. Take care.
You too.